That clip. Boys, are we smashing? Serious question. Are we smashing?
Virginia went shopping a good little bit at Card Party. This is something she picked up. It's that nice little Pikachu. He's winking at us. He's got Pikachu decals over his Pikachu body, trying to tell us something. 20, as in 20 Pikachus all over his body. I'm sure it's for the 20th anniversary. 2016 or 17, whatever it was. What a good time. Yep, she bought plushies. That was her main thing. She bought a couple cards too, but yeah. Tier list time. Once again, it's good to be back and good to be making content. I missed making these. I was missing one card to actually make this tier list. We're going to be doing my personal favorite of the beginning or the super old school basic WotC. We got Jungle. Jungle, the best set ever released in that first year of WotC, baby. I remember being a Boy Scout against my will, selling candy bars. If I sold a certain amount, we would get one Jungle booster pack. We'd get one for, I think, like we sold like 2 or 3 candy bars. I don't remember. We had to sell a certain amount of them. I only got a couple packs, but it was the best thing ever. I have 16, count them, 16 of the holos. We have them all right here, and we're going to rank them. And we got the 5 different tiers once again. We're going to have 2 S tiers. We're going to have 4 A's, 4 B's, 4 C's, and then we're going to have 2 D tiers, 2 bottom tier ones. I like Jungle set quite a bit. There's not a bad card that I have in here, but hey, some of them got to fucking go to the bottom. We're going to put some of them in the bottom. So without further ado, let's rank them. Of course, at the end, I will show Virginia's ranking, per usual. And let's get to it. All right, what do we got first? Ooh, we got Nidoqueen. I like the Japanese ones of these. These are all Japanese, by the way. For all the ones I have, I collect that. I like all the swirls that are present on all these. It's really good. I remember this one in particular. I remember the boyfriend's attack right there with multiple Nidokings being around. You know, have a reverse little gang of boyfriends that back her up. And I like Nidoqueen a good little bit. I like Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Giovanni, I'm pretty sure, used one of each because of the ground type for that stuff. Nidoqueen's the more stout and defensive one. Nidoking has a little bit more attack. The card, fantastic. Ken Sugimori did a good job on it. I like Nidoqueen a good little bit. I like this card. I like all the Jungle cards. It's super nostalgic looking back at these. And I mean, those swirls are fantastic. B tier, solid B for the Queen Nidoqueen right there. Oh, my queen. All right, what do we got next? Ooh, Pidgeot. So Pidgeot, I know Pidgeot's not the best bird that's ever existed. There's definitely some that outclass it in attack and all that stuff. I know Firo and Dodrio are basically a little bit better. Pidgeot is cool though. This mofo is just a fucking badass. Look at that hair. Look at this card. Firo didn't get a card like this. No, he did not. Dodrio didn't get a card like this either. No, well, I mean, there's kind of a swirl right there. No immediate ones. But man, these Japanese ones are just, I like these a whole heck of a lot. Gamaro Huminu did this one, and it's a great card. I mean, like, you can't really go wrong with any of, like, these older style ones. Pidgeot, in my personal opinion, I always liked seeing this one. I still like seeing this one to this day. This one is a solid A tier for the big bird boy himself. Fuck yeah, baby. This one's going straight into A. I like Pidgeot, sue me. All right, what do we got next? Wigglytuff! We got big old Wigglytuff right here with a nice little swirl, nice little fart swirl coming out right there. Wigglytuff, the secondly, I don't like Wigglytuff as much as I like Clefable. Wigglytuff is never, I like Jigglypuff, I like Igglybuff, but then the second Jigglypuff evolves in this fucking fat, not as appealing piece right here. I know some people really do like Wigglytuff. Never really been one of my favorite. Mitsuhiro did this one. I mean, it's fantastic art, but I mean, if you gotta put this one somewhere, it's not gonna be as high for me. There's nothing really quite wrong. I do like how for like a good chunk of these, like some of them, they're not even like really anywhere. They're just kind of in like a negative space. I think Jungle and then like a lot of the older WotC did that. They're not anywhere. They're in like the fucking shadow realm. They're where like Squidward was whenever he wanted to be alone, where like that little area. Unfortunately, Wigglytuff, you gotta go to C tier. That's where you're going. I mean, what are you gonna do? All right, what do we got next? Ooh, Mr. Mime right here. Ooh, the Mime. I have never been a big fan of this card right here. I don't know what it is about Mr. Mime. Some people say like creepy. Some people say just flat out weird. I just don't like the dude. I think he's kind of a weirdo for other, I'm not sure. The 40 HP leaves a lot to be desired. The actual Ken Sugimori art, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, Ken Sugimori is a great artist. This is not one of my favorite ones, though. Like, if I was going to put one like smack dab at the bottom, there'd be another one with it that I don't really like pulling either. But this would definitely be there too. Mr. Mime, I think this one had an alright ability, if I do not, I think I remember that being right. But overall, not my favorite. I don't know if this one is. So let's see if we can do some swirl action. Where's the swirls? Where are they? You got any swirls? Maybe kind of up there. You can kind of see a little bit of it. Whatever. You're going to D tier, my friend. D tier. Pokerev would be proud. I don't want to see you anymore. Alright, what do we got next? Ooh, Electrode. Mitsuhiro Arita did this one right here. So, this is where, like, a big argument comes from. People always say, like, the newer generation of Pokemon just kind of ran out of ideas. There's not super creative ones. I think people forget about some of the more lackluster ones from Gen 1 a good little bit. And Voltorb and Electrode have always kind of fell into that little category for me. I mean, it's literally a Pokeball. It's literally just an upside down. I get that's kind of the joke, that's kind of the appeal, but I mean, that's not really like original. It's kind of pretending. I mean, Fungus and Amoongus do like the exact same thing, but they don't get a pass for any of that. People are like, ew, these stupid little mushroom guys. I mean, they're kind of a meme now, but I mean, they don't get a pass. They don't get any of that stuff too. This is like one of the ones that, I mean, people forget Seal was even a thing and that stuff too, but whatever. I mean, I don't hate this card by any stretch of the imagination, but not one of my favorite ones either. There's a better electric type in this set. You're going to go straight into C tier. I do like your smile, though. I do like the cut you got right there. I do like your eyebrows. You are also relatively easy to draw on some toilet paper, and I do appreciate that. That does make it a little easier for me. Who's next? Who we got? Kangaskhan right here. So I like the little baby Kangaskhan. I think that's like a good little design for that stuff. I like Mega Kangaskhan. Regular Kangaskhan, though, not so much. I'm not really the biggest fan. She is a mama. She's a struggling single lady trying to figure out her way in this fucking stressful world and take care of her kid. Just not for me. It's not one that I like a whole lot. It's Mr. Arita once again. I think these homies are also in like the negative space. They're in the void. They're in the in-between. Can't be found anywhere. And the baby's super happy about that. It's like, yeah, finally, no more people bugging us. It's an alright card. Like I said, I don't have a bad card to pick from any of the ones in Jungle Set. It's my favorite of the old school WotC. But unfortunately, single mom, you're going to D tier. And you're going to stay down there with Mr. Mime, unfortunately. Maybe you guys can figure something out and hash it out or something. I don't know. Figure something out. Definitely not one of my favorite ones to pull, and was easily, I hate pulling Kangaskhan in like 151 as well. That full art, absolutely not. No, thank you. All right, who's next? Man, I'm just going through the ones. So this is the last one I needed to actually do this jungle tier list right here. I prefer to do them with the cards in hand so I can actually look at it and appreciate it. Kagemaru Himeno is another one that did this one. Like, it's not the bad art. I do like the art a good little bit. I'm just not a fan of Flareon, really. This is my least favorite of the Kantoian Eeveelutions and all that. Flareon, especially starting out. So in the first games, like, you couldn't even use Flareon because like all fire type attacks were based off your special, and Flareon has a very high attack stat, so you basically couldn't even use Flareon up until Gen 4 when they finally fixed and separated the special and the physical attack type stuff. Couldn't do it, and I don't know. I've never actually really been one to like Flareon that much either. I'm not a huge fan of like most fire types. This one is also going to go into C tier for me. I guess I'm just getting all the lower ones out of the way real quick, but it's not bad. Flareon's still cool. Definitely not a bad card. I'm not going to put it like any lower. And if like compared to other cards from WotC, I like this, but compared to the jungle ones, there's a lot better cards in my opinion. Not really too sure where it is either. You're like in some kind of like rainbow volcano void. I'm not fucking sure. Maybe Blaine knows. Alright, what's next? Victreebel. You actually are not in some kind of void. You're in like a forest type area and you got a mouth swirl. You got yourself a little burp swirl. Worth extra value right there. I'm a big fan of Victreebel. I like Victreebel a whole hell of a lot. I like the interactions that James has with his Victreebel where it basically just engulfs him and fucking eats him every time, like he just throws him out. It doesn't even fight. I don't think it's ever fought like once in the actual anime. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think every single time it gets thrown out, like James just gets engulfed by it, just gets sucked up and fulfills someone's like deviant art fetish or something like that. I like Victreebel though. I really do. I like this card. I have a lot of nostalgia for this one. I think I pulled one of these from my Boy Scout booster packs back in the day. And I really like this card. It definitely does a lot for me. It's a lot for nostalgia. Ken Sugimori did this one. It's fantastic. And with a nice little forest background of the entire thing, very, very good. I'm a good old fan of Victreebel. You're going to A tier for me. Hang out right up there with the Pidgeot boy. Heck yeah. Like this card. No, that swirl's nice though. That's double. You got to pay double usually to get a swirl like that. All right, who's next? Oh, it's game over. Game over, boys. So for anybody who's a fan of the Opossum channel knows how much this card means to me. This is my favorite card, basically, of all time. This one, I don't know where Scyther is. I don't really care where Scyther is. Scyther is the homie. Scyther's the GOAT. Scyther is just an absolute badass. Ken Sugimori drew the best card that actually happened to exist in the WotC era. It is this card right here. I love this card. I absolutely love every iteration of this card that's ever come out. Scyther gets so many good arts, and Scyther's pretty well taken care of. I really do think an AR or something like that would benefit Scyther a good little bit coming out in the no stuff. I know Scizor got one, but come on, give the boy Scyther a little bit of fucking love too. He deserves a little bit. My favorite. This is a card right here. This is pure nostalgia in card form. If I ever was going to look at one, there's a little swirl right there. You got a little bit of a swirl. Nothing crazy, but homie doesn't need swirls. He doesn't fucking need that shit. He doesn't need it. This is a card. S tier. S tier immediately for me, and I don't think that was surprising absolutely anybody. This is the card right here. Man. Whew, that's a good card. I feel bad for any other card in this entire set, really, because how do you compare to that? All right, what do we got next? Venomoth. Heck yeah, look at this guy. Nice little head swirl right there. It could be a possible fart swirl as well. You never really know. The Japanese ones just look really good with that, like, nice little... It's such a nice swirl that goes on back there. I know the English ones have a little bit too. The Japanese ones, I feel like it just pops slightly more. Yeah, I just appreciate it a little bit. Anyway, Venomoth. Venomoth's cool. Also not in a weird void area. A nice little field. I feel like some of them were spared the writer's void of, hey, just go the fuck over here. We don't really know what to do with you. Ken Sugimori, once again, doing this fantastic art. I'm a big Venomoth fan. I really am. I think Venomoth is very, very much a card or a Pokemon that really doesn't get too much love or anything like that. It did get the rainbow treatment in the Sun and Moon era, and I do appreciate that. But hey, Venomoth could do a little bit. You could get an evolution or something. You can get like a Mega. I think that'd be fucking doable. Anyway, good card. Very good. I like putting this. I'm going to put this one up in the B tier. I think that's where this one goes. Not the best, but by far not the worst. Little ninja boy, little Venonat, so cute. Grows up into that little cool dude. I mean, used a lot of psychic type attacks for not being psychic type in the manga and the anime and the games and all that stuff. But I mean, Pokemon was still figuring stuff out. All right, what do we got next? Pinsir, my man Pinsir, right up here. I love me some Pinsir. I love bug types, by the way. So my favorite type is ice type, but my second favorite type of all times is bug. Bug is good. Like this homie and Heracross, like both getting mega evolutions, both being super good bugs, both being like basically fighting and like bug type. I mean, I know he's not fighting type. It's Heracross that is, but hey, you're not quad weak to anything, so that's pretty good. Kagemaru Himeno did this one as well, and this is another card that gives me a whole heck of a lot of nostalgia. There's really only two cards that like outperform this one in my personal opinion in Jungle. I am a huge fan of Pinsir. I mean, look how badass he is. Look at that stuff. Look at this guy right here. Look at that. He's just hopping right at you. That'd be scary. That'd be scary as hell if that was real. Like some of the Pokemon, if they were actually real, scary. But good card. Great card. This is the kind of stuff you want to pull from Jungle, in my personal opinion. Right up there. I know some people, Eeveelution this, Eeveelution. Nah. The Bug Boys run this set. The Bug Boys do that stuff. A tier. Easy A tier for my homie Pinsir. Let's get Pinsir some more love. Actually, he got an AR not that long ago. You know what? Pinsir's been getting good treatment. Never mind. Keep doing what you're doing, Pokemon. All right, who is next? Clefable. My more favorite of the big blobby pink homies that hang out there. Mitsuhiro Arita did this one. I think this one has a swirl somewhere on it, maybe. Yeah, I don't see one. It doesn't really need one anyway. So Clefairy got a holo in the base set. And then they were like, you know what? Clefairy's so good. It was going to be the mascot possibly of Pokemon. Let's give the fat gooey one also a holo in the next set. The expansion set for that stuff. So they did. Also not in a mysterious void. Not in the Shadow Realm. Sitting on a rock doing metronome or something like that. And I like this art quite a bit. This is another good nostalgia one. It's not my favorite card. There's definitely several cards that I prefer over this one. But you're never having a bad time pulling a Clefable card. It's nice. The normal and the holo go really good together. I do like the art. I do like the personality with this one. It's a solid B tier for me. I like Clefable a good bit more than Wigglytuff. This one, and in Gen 1 too, Clefable was a monster because of that special stat. You were good. You're still good. but you were better. All right, what we got next? Vileplume. It reminds me of the Pokemon movie where like James, Jesse, and Meowth were watching all the Pokemon get cloned, and it was like the Vileplume that looked exactly like this. I always thought that kind of looks like it's in the cloning facility right now. It's in like the green negative zone or something like that. You just can't see where homie is. No immediate swirls on you. I mean, you kind of got one, like a little bit of a fart one down there, but yeah, I mean, you can't really tell. Anyway, Vileplume, I like Vileplume a good little bit. I think Vileplume definitely isn't a bad card, not a bad Pokemon. A lot of people think of this whenever they're going through like the jungle and they see that stuff. That being said, it's definitely not one of my favorite cards to pull from the set at all. I don't know why. I think it's just because I've seen this one a lot. I don't know. It just kind of sits with my nostalgia. Kind of not super great. I don't know what it is about it. It goes to C tier for me. Not a bad card, but definitely not one of the better ones. I do think there's some ones that I still like a little bit more from the set, but I do get the major cloning vibes from you right there. You might be the clone actually yourself. Look at those eyes. Look at them eyes. You're actually kind of evil, aren't you? All right, not too many more. What do we got left? Jolteon. Now here is a solid evolution. So of the original Kantoian evolutions, Jolteon was my favorite. I've always had a soft spot for Jolteon for back in the day. As more evolutions came out, unfortunately Jolteon got outclassed a little bit, but for nostalgia's sakes and everything, I mean, this one's still a solid card right here. I definitely like this one. I do get a good nostalgia hit seeing this one. I think this was another one I pulled from back in the day. Agemaru Amino did this one once again, and I love that stance right there. I don't know where exactly Jolteon is in this stance. He's got a little paw swirl right there. You can kind of see that right there. So that's probably worth like triple for some foot fetish stuff. I don't know where they are, but it does need to be explained. It absolutely does not need to be explained at all. Jolteon is top tier. That face, that little sass going on right there, this is a good card. This is an S tier card for me from Jungle. I love this card. I don't really know what to say about that. I know some people prefer the Vaporeon. Some people really like the Flareon. Like, Flareon's a lot of people's favorites. I think this one is where it's at for the evolutions for the Kantoian style. Just my personal opinion. You don't agree? This is a list backed by science, so you're probably wrong, but you're allowed to have that opinion. All right, what we got left? Oh, man, better not tell. I got to be semi-nice to this one. I mean, my boss over at Card Prison, Rock Sandy, will be mad if I don't give this one a stellar review. I mean, it's Vaporeon after all. Well, I mean, what do you say about Vaporeon? I mean, there's a nice little swirl up there, actually. That's a little tail swirl. That's a little swirl that some people are going to like right there. It's a little close to the tail. Oh god, Vaporeon's a good card. I do like that. Once again, like where it is, I'm not really too sure. Maybe it's like sitting in like a water. I don't know. It's just like a background that like these are very easy to tell if they're like scratched. You can totally tell if like a kid was like rubbing it or like, you know, credit carding it through the sandbox or something. And it does show on these hollows, but if you take care of them, and they look pretty good. I mean, these cards shine whenever they look great, and I definitely see why like Pokemon took off with cards like this. Not my favorite evolution, but definitely not a bad card. Definitely better than Flareon. This one would go into the B tier for me. Solid card, solid nostalgia, solid set. It's a great card right there. Agemaru Amino drew this one as well, and I mean it's not a bad card. The art for it goes good. A lot of people prefer this card. If you do like this card more than the others, I can't blame you. Just for me, the B tier is where you go. All right, and what do we got left? Ooh, we got ourselves a Snorlax foot swirl. Right there, we got ourselves a foot swirl, so you fucking furries better pay 4 times the money for this one. Snorlax is an awesome Pokemon. Snorlax is an awesome card. Ken Sugimori drew this awesome card. This ability rocked. I don't 100% remember what it does, but I do remember it being really good. 90 HP, solid. I remember pulling this card, as I think I also pulled this one from back in the day as well. I don't know how many packs I opened, but I swear I pulled like 3 or 4 hollows from the set. I believe this is one of them. I love this card. You could not have separated me from this card, basically like the Scyther. If I had had that, I think I had to trade for the Scyther though. And this card right here just hits all kinds of good things. I love the art. I love him waving. Once again, he's in like the space that shall not be named. He's in the cube area, the unnamed, the upside down, whatever you want to call it. And homie's just living. He's doing his good thing. This is good art right here. I love talking about Jungle. I love talking about these sets as well. The nice little lines, the classic design. He's like half laying down, half standing up. I don't know what he's doing. He's just kind of hanging out and doing it in between. Homie rocks. He doesn't need a fucking excuse. This card's an A tier card. A solid nostalgia A tier card for me. I've loved going through this stuff. Fossil set is going to be next for me. I'm missing 1 card as well from that. And then I'll probably be doing a Fossil. I don't like Fossil quite as much as Jungle, but I do like Fossil still quite a bit. There you go, buddy. A tier for you. That's all I got for the Jungle tier list. Let me know if you guys want me to actually tier something else. Appreciate you hanging out. Good to be back. I'm sure you see some stuff in the background. Just Joshin did that actually right there. That nice little drawing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Peace out, Virgin Gang. Bye.